Fuck.
Breakups can be really, really hard things and can be mentally and emotionally very trying. I have been through quite a few breakups, but only one of them really hurt. I mean more than just like I cried a couple times. I mean like I was crying every day. Even before the relationship was over, just because I knew that I knew that I felt horrible, and I was in denial about the relationship, how unhealthy it was. Breakups can be very horrible, and what I recommend and what worked for me is staying busy. And when I say that, I don't mean sleeping around. I mean, do what you need to do, but if you do choose to use sleeping around as a way to cope, if that is something that just works for you personally, use protection. Always use some sort of male or female condom, some kind of birth control, and some kind of control for sexually transmitted infections and diseases. Because if you're sleeping around with just like strangers or people that you're just friends with or whatever, you don't know what they may have. Another one, even though it may be tempting, avoid substance abuse. When I say substance, I mean all kinds of drugs and alcohol. Even caffeine can be something that people may want to use because you can feel very sluggish when you're in a hard time mentally. Binging on food, and then again, another thing, purging. These are things you want to avoid, so try to, yes, eat and don't make yourself throw up, but yes, eat, but don't eat empty calories. If you feel like you need to be eating all the time, get a bunch of vegetables, get a bunch of fruit if you need sweets, and eat a lot of those. If you need a lot of salty stuff in your life, like potato chips, and you just want to keep eating these things, add a bunch of seasonings to your grains. That is my recommendation. Another tip for something that you should do is exercise. I went through this breakup that I'm speaking of way before I was vegan, and veganism is what really gave me the motivation to exercise. So at that time, I really did not like exercising. I really did not like it. I found the gym boring, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. But exercising, at least to the certain extent of maybe taking the stairs instead of the elevator. I lived on the 9th floor of the building that I was living in, and I was taking the stairs, up and down the stairs. Builds character. Because just using your muscles and waking up your body that way can really help, and it releases endorphins in your head, and that is a good feeling hormone. Back to staying busy, what I meant by that was try not to be alone so much. Take the alone time that you do need. Try to spend that alone time doing, hobbies of yours. If you like to draw, try to spend that time drawing, or watching movies, whatever you need to do. Read something that is mentally relaxing for you. Try to spend your alone time doing that. And I know it can be hard to even do that much sometimes, and if you need to spend your alone time taking a nap, do it. Because if you are really that tired, all you really want is to just take a nap. That is what your body needs, and just listen to your body and give it what it needs. Also, I know that it can be really, really hard if you're in school. I know it can be really hard to continue going to classes sometimes if you're really feeling depressed, and I know that it can be hard to get your homework done if you're just crying. You can't even see the paper, you can't see the screen or whatever. So for this, I really recommend, again, try not to be alone too much when you're trying to do things like this. If you're not doing something that's just relaxing, try to go into a more public space, because it'll help you, even though there's stuff happening around you, it at least will help you resist from crying, because when you're alone, that's when feelings can really sometimes overwhelm you, and you can really take time to reflect. So avoid reflecting. I mean, you can eventually reflect once you feel emotionally capable without being overwhelmed, because I think that's a very healthy thing to do. But before you're ready, I would avoid it. If you're really this hurt by whatever it is, I would also avoid talking to the person. Just, let them know that you need some time. And you say some time, give them an estimate, and if you don't have an estimate of how long that'll be, let them know you don't know how long that'll be. And if you need to cut them out of your life completely, you can do that. You have every right to do that. I also recommend doing study groups and stuff like that. So, if you do accidentally or purposefully miss a class or 2 or 3 or however many I missed, half a semester of 2 of my classes when I was dealing with this depression due to a breakup. Go to study groups. Go to, if your school has SI lessons, get as much as you can in, you know, to keep yourself caught up in class, because school is important. Here I'll refer to one time when I was in a hard time, I wrote my 14 rules to a happy life, and one of those things was, for one thing, do something because it makes you happy. So if it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. And for another, do what will be best for you in the long run. So not just something that's gonna give you this momentary buzz or happiness or satisfaction, but do something that will benefit your life in the long run. Good luck getting over your breakup, or if you're about to break up with someone or you think it's coming. Also, if you think a breakup is coming, I would recommend beating them to the punch. It feels better. It definitely feels better. If you're thinking it's coming to the end of a relationship, you think that relationship needs to end soon, and you think they're gonna break up with you, I always beat them to the punch. It saves you some of the pain. It may still be very painful for you, but it makes it a little bit better. A little bit better. You don't have to be mean about it. You can be perfectly nice and fair and loving and gentle, but it really does help if you beat them to the punch. That's what I have to say. Real talk.